We are in the middle of summer slowdown, but thanks to diversifying to some other selling platforms like eBay and Mercari, I'm still managing to stay around the average amount that I earn per week reselling, even as a part-time reseller. So if you want to see what kinds of things are selling, even in the midst of summer slowdown, stay tuned.
Won't nobody love you the way they should. Won't nobody check up on you, make sure you're good. Won't nobody check those body treatments for your neck.
Hi everyone, and welcome to a What Sold video. My name is Becky Park and I am a part-time reseller on Poshmark, and I've recently added Mercari and eBay. I've been doing Mercari for kind of a decent amount of time, but I've been getting more serious about it again and being more consistent with listing over there. So I have been trying to be consistent on all three platforms, and given that it is the summer and during the school year I am a high school choir teacher, I am investing a lot more energy and time into my reselling business, although I don't know that it's still necessarily the full-time hours that I was hoping and expecting to put in. Regardless, it's been a great summer to just really learn a little bit more about eBay. So just to give you a little update on how my eBay business is doing, I feel like I'm slowly getting faster at things like listing, especially when I figured out how to use that sell similar as tool. That was a game changer. And then I feel like even shipping has gotten a little bit easier. I feel like I'm starting to get into the swing of things. And really a lot of that is thanks to a lot of you. Like, a lot of you just left such helpful comments in the comment section down below, and a lot of people even in my Instagram would leave very thoughtful and generous and helpful comments on Instagram posts and stories where I was just pleading for help, asking anyone for any advice that they had on eBay. And from all of those suggestions and advice that you guys gave me, I've really been able to just learn a little bit more about shipping and just how to be a little bit more successful with eBay. By no means do I consider myself an expert, and like I said, I'm still doing a lot of experimenting, and with that comes just a lot of smaller sales because, like I've said in the past, I am trying to beef up my store and especially my feedback. Maybe it was last week, but I think it was this week I finally received my first positive feedback. So no longer next to my name does it just have a 0, but it's got a 1 next to it now, which is great. And my goal is to get out some of these like smaller items where people are willing to take a risk on me through like auctions. And you know, you're gonna see too this week, like I had a few auctions where I'm making a couple dollars, if that, but those were all items that were given to me for free, and I'm just trying to, like I said, get some more feedback next to my name so that people can trust me with bigger purchases. I've also decided at this point not to open an eBay store, and that's because you're gonna see from the sales that I'm making, I'm not making great sales yet, and I don't think I can justify spending a certain amount of money per month or per year on an eBay store, especially because I just got that promotional email from eBay where they're giving me 100 free listings. So I think that actually expires tonight, so as soon as this is over and as soon as I finish editing this video and whatnot, I'm gonna get back to listing as many items as I can over on eBay. I think I've got like 25, so the goal will be like 75 listings. We'll see what happens. I also want to leave a little bit of wiggle room in case things have to relist, because apparently those relisted items count toward the number of items that you can list per month. I don't know. All I know is I don't want to pay any insertion fees, especially because a lot of the stuff that I have over there right now are just not super high dollar. Although I have started cross-listing some of my like higher end stuff over from Poshmark, but like I said, I'm not really expecting anyone to purchase those items when I have so little feedback next to my name. I know I personally, as a shopper, would be a little bit more cautious about buying from someone on eBay who just doesn't have any feedback. I don't know if I can trust them, all that kind of stuff. Also over on eBay, I've been getting a ridiculous amount of offers from scammers, and you know that it's a scam if someone comes in to something that you've just listed maybe like a few minutes ago, and they are offering to pay you more than the amount that you listed the item for. And typically those people have 0 feedback, they have no sales under their name, and they always send some sort of message along with the offer about, you know, here's my email address or here's my phone number. Please get in contact with me because I have some questions regarding the item. Sometimes they'll throw in a little blurb about how this is a birthday present for someone, or I don't know. Like, it's happened so many times in the past week that I've just gotten kind of used to it, but it is pretty annoying. So if that happens to you, you just want to make sure that you decline. You don't want to call the number, you don't want to email the person, and you definitely don't want to accept the offer because it's not real. They're not gonna pay. And I think what they're hoping that you'll do is that you will just ship the item without them paying, so they'll have this free stuff from you and you will never get your money. So just beware. Just a couple other housekeeping things before we get into the video. The first being, I don't think that there will be a What Sold video next week, and that's because next week I'm gonna be on vacation with my family in San Diego. I am so excited. It's not my first time going to San Diego, but I think the first time I went, I was a little kid. So it's my first time going as an adult, and I'm taking my kids and obviously my husband. So we're really excited. If you have any suggestions for things to do in San Diego, please let us know in the comment section down below. I think for sure we're gonna go to Legoland and the safari park. The zoo is still a maybe, and obviously we're gonna do like La Jolla Beach and Coronado Island. I think we especially need food recommendations. So if you know of really good restaurants in the San Diego area, please let us know. Secondly, this coming Saturday, which is July 20th. Yes, that's the date. July 20th, I'm hosting my very first Posh and Sip in the Champaign-Urbana area. So if you are in this area, I'm gonna link the Facebook event for the Posh and Sip that's happening this Saturday. If you could go there and RSVP if you're able to come, I really hope you're able to come out. I think it's gonna be a really good time. And then finally, I believe on August 5th, I'm trying to organize a trip over to Indianapolis to go visit the bins and maybe have some lunch with other people who are local to that area, or even maybe local to me here and just want to take a road trip to see what the bins are all about. So if you're interested in that as well, please leave a comment down in the comment section down below, because I would love to hang out with you guys and just go thrifting with other people who love to thrift. Okay, so since we got all that stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and get into what sold. And this week I did have sales on all 3 platforms, but like I said, you're gonna see over on eBay, these are not exciting sales, and that's okay. We're just trying to get that feedback. So on Monday, I only had sales over on Poshmark, and the first one was this Prana dress. It was this pretty blue print, and it had a shelf bra on the inside. It was a size small, and it sold for $34, which was my full asking price. I haven't had this listed for too long, maybe a couple months, and I picked it up at a local thrift store for, I wanna say, like $2.49. This local thrift store that I go to, it's not a Goodwill, it's not a Salvation Army. They do a lot more for the community, and sometimes I'll stop in there, and honestly, usually it's pretty garbage. Like, they don't have amazing stuff, but every once in a while you can find maybe, you know, an odd thing or two. And this I happened to pick up, and I made $27.20 off of it, so I was really happy about that. Next up, I sold this Columbia pair of nylon cargo hiking shorts, and they had like the mesh lining on the inside, and I got them in a size small. If you remember, I picked up 2 of these at my fill-a-bag sale that I used to love to go to. Unfortunately, that thrift store is no more, and I had like gone through this kick of picking up a ton of Columbia hiking shorts, and thankfully they've slowly been selling through. I guess like now people are finally realizing I need hiking shorts, and I've got them for you in my closet if that's you. But someone sent me an offer for $10 for these. I went ahead and let them go because why not? I mean, at that point I knew that I had picked them up for a little bit over $1, so I was still happy with the return. I made $7.05 on those shorts, and the person left me a really sweet love note saying that she was gonna be traveling across the country from, it was a pretty large distance, I don't remember, and she was like, these shorts are gonna come in handy, so thank you for the great deal, and that's awesome. I love it when I get to see the other side of what's happening with the clothes that get sent out to different places, you know? So that was really cool for her to send me that love note and to let me know what was gonna happen with those shorts. The last thing that sold on Monday, this is the wrong date. Mine says the 1st. It's not on the 1st of July. It was on the 11th of July. So the last thing that sold on the 11th of July was actually from my ThredUp rescue haul. And it's funny because these were definitely at the bottom of my list of the shoes from that haul that I thought would sell for a decent amount. Not that they sold for a huge amount, but still, like, I didn't even think that I would get as much for them as I did. And it was this pair of Rocket Dog tan slip-on canvas shoes in a size 9.5. I had originally thought that Rocket Dog was sold at like Walmart or something, but I think actually in the video that I had put up, and I will link that here. I'll link it here. I'm figuring it out, guys. In that video, one of you guys let me know that Rocket Dog is actually sold at DSW, which is like a large shoe store. So I guess that helps. Like, I think DSW is obviously better than Walmart in terms of like where you're buying your shoes. So I had them listed for $16 and someone just bought them outright at $16, which was kind of shocking to me. I was expecting to sell them through auction on eBay and I thought maybe I would make like $4, but I will take $16 over $4 any day. So I made $12.80 on that pair of shoes. You guys, I'm crazy. Monday was not the 11th. Monday was the 8th. So now I'm talking about Tuesday the 9th. I'm sick, so I'm just like not really fully there. I think I'm slowly getting over it, but I just kind of feel yucky. Anyway, Tuesday I had sales on Poshmark and eBay, so I'll go over my Poshmark sales first. The first thing that sold was this Karen Kane V-neck blue dress, and it had this really pretty kind of like graphic print, but it was with like more of a subtle watercolor feel to it, so it wasn't so like in your face. But I got an offer on it, I believe, for $18, and so I made $14.40. I don't remember exactly where I picked that up. I want to say I picked it up at the consignment boutique fill-a-bag sale that happened not too long ago, but I cannot remember exactly. And this was my first time trying out Karen Kane. I just kind of wanted to see how it did. It wasn't amazing. Like, it didn't get a lot of interest. I didn't have a lot of likes on it or anything, but I'm glad to have finally moved it for $18, so that was fine. Next up, I sold this pair of new without the box Sam Edelman Romy cork wedges, and they were like a thong sandal in a size 8. Someone sent me an offer for $22 and I made $17.60 on those. Those I did pick up at the consignment boutique fill-a-bag sale for sure. I really think that I picked up the Karen Kane dress there too. Regardless, I will link that here. At that sale, I found a lot of shoes and brands I typically don't come across on a very regular basis. I know Sam Edelman for a lot of people is super bread and butter, but it literally took me a year and a half of thrifting before I found my first pair of Sam Edelman shoes. So some brands are also more commonly found in different areas of the country. Like, I know Vineyard Vines is one brand that a lot of people find more in the South, and Show Me Your Muumuu, kind of the same thing. Like, I've never ever seen Show Me Your Muumuu in the flesh. So, you know, it just kind of depends on where you are sometimes. I was really excited going to that consignment boutique fill-a-bag sale because they did have a good number of Sam Edelman shoes. And now I'm finding that they don't particularly sell for like a whole lot, but it's still exciting to put those kinds of brands in my closet knowing that there are a lot of people who are looking for that kind of stuff. So anyway, I think I said this already, but they sold for $22. I made $17.60 on them. Next up, I sold this Lululemon Power Y. What? It looks like I wrote a curse word on here, but Lululemon Power Y. Oh, it had a shelf bra. The word is shelf. It looks like a bad word. So it's the Lululemon Power Y shelf bra tank, and it was in this really pretty kind of like bright red. She initially asked me if I could do $15 with discounted shipping, and our negotiating took place inside of the bundle feature. I think that it was a closet clear out day when she had liked the item, so I sent her a comment about the fact that it was closet clear out, and if she wanted the tank top for $21 plus discounted shipping. And then she was like, you know, I'll do it for $15, and I was like, what about $18? Like, does $18 with discounted shipping sound good to you? And she said it was fine, so that's what ended up happening, and I made $12.60 on that. Lululemon is not going for as much anymore, especially just like the plain tank tops. So, you know, you just have to be kind of careful when it comes to picking them up. At least just have realistic expectations of what you're gonna get for them. I'm one of those people that still get really excited when I find Lululemon because I'm not finding a whole lot of it, you know? There's this one Goodwill in my area that I feel like typically when I go there, I'll find like one Lululemon tank per trip, but it's never like the super desirable ones or anything like that. But it's still really exciting for me to see that little symbol, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I found it. Even though I'm getting like $18 for them, you know? It's still, I know people are still looking for it, and it's usually a pretty quick flip, even though I have some tanks in my closet that have been sitting there for quite some time, so you never know. The last thing that sold on Tuesday the 9th was this pair of Miss Me jeans, and they were kind of unique in that they were like black jeans, and they were a mid-rise skinny in a size 32. Miss Me is not generally known for their like darker denim. They're not really known for black jeans. They're known for their blue jeans with like the bling bling on the butt. These had no bling bling. They were just kind of like a typical skinny jean, and the only way that you would even really know that they were Miss Me was they had like a pretty big black, what is this, label on the back. But it wasn't, you know, typical Miss Me, so I was kind of curious to see how they would do. But they actually did pretty well. They sold for $30, and I made $24 on those jeans. I think I had them listed for $34, and so someone sent me a really reasonable offer of $30, and of course I accepted. So, you know, that just goes to show, even if you find things in a brand that that brand isn't necessarily known for, it doesn't hurt to check the comps. And I think that that's what I did. I just checked the comps, and I was like, oh, like black jeans still do okay. And I found those at a Salvation Army that my husband and I went to recently, so you never know. And then the last thing that sold on Tuesday the 9th was actually an eBay sale. Here we go. Like, this is where we get into just kind of the ridiculousness that is eBay, at least for me right now, because I don't know what I'm doing. But I sold this J. Crew Factory broken in long sleeve maroon colored t-shirt in a size medium. It was given to me by my friend Steve, who I have talked about in previous videos. He just gave me like bags and bags of clothing that he just no longer wears for whatever reason. And it was a nice shirt. I did an auction on the shirt, and I think I started it around like $1 or something. I don't remember exactly how much. There were 4 bids on it, and it sold for $3.25. And that's after 4 bids. Like, there were 4 bids on this shirt, and it still only got up to $3.25. But hey, beggars cannot be choosers. I am just happy to make any sales over on eBay. So after the 13% eBay fees, that's what people said to calculate as far as eBay fees, because in last week's video I calculated 20% off of my earnings as the eBay and PayPal fees, and people were like, no, it's only like 13. So we're gonna say 13% when it comes to eBay and PayPal fees. So when you take 13% off of $3.25, I made $2.83. The buyer paid for shipping, and hopefully this person leaves me positive feedback, and if so, then all is well with the world. Another interesting thing about eBay is I do have my first unpaid case. So I had one person bid on a shirt, and it was just like this Nike shirt, it's an Air Force Ones, whatever. The person made a $2 and I wanna say like 36-cent bid, and then they were the only person to bid on the item. They won the auction, and 2 days passed without them paying for it. So eBay told me, hey, you can open an unpaid case against this person if you want. I did also send them like a reminder, because I guess through eBay you can say, hey, like, don't forget you're supposed to pay for this because you won this auction. So I did do that first, but they didn't do anything yet. And so I did open up an unpaid case against them. I guess my question now is, now what happens? So like, they didn't pay, what happens now? How long do I have to wait before I can relist it? Or am I just gonna get compensated from eBay? I highly doubt that, but let me know in the comment section below if you know how that goes down. But I would love to see my $2 from that sale, and I'd love to get that shirt out of my house. Anyway, going on to Wednesday the 10th. Wednesday the 10th was a good day on Poshmark. I mean, even the 9th, that Tuesday, was pretty decent, but the 10th was really good because of this one bundle that I'll tell you about here in a little bit. But the first thing that sold was this Abercrombie & Fitch graphic shirt. It was a t-shirt in like blue, I think. I don't even, well, you'll see it. You see it right here in a size medium. This was also Steve's. I sent out offers to likers on this shirt for $15, which someone accepted, and so I made $10.20 on this shirt, which was much more than I was expecting to make. But then something really crappy happened. I pulled the shirt to package it up and ship it out. This is a shirt that my student who was steaming and photographing for me took pictures of, and she did she does a great job, but what she didn't see, and I think maybe like she didn't even know that it was a flaw, but there's like a big graphic that's been printed on this shirt, and when I pulled it to ship it, I noticed that it was very heavily cracked, like ridiculously cracked, and I could see how like she would think maybe that's just how it's supposed to look, but that's definitely not how it was made. So I reached out to the buyer and I let him know, and I said, hey, I just pulled this item to ship it, and unfortunately it has so much cracking and I don't feel right sending it to you in this condition, so here are our options. And I said, obviously you can just cancel the transaction if you want, or you can look through my closet and see if there's anything else that is kind of comparable when it comes to price, and I will just send that in addition to this shirt if you want. So the person who ordered it actually ordered it for his son. I think his son had wanted it. So he came back to me and said, hey, thank you so much for reaching out. I talked to my son. He still wants the shirt even though it's cracked. But, you know, we'd in addition like to add this Bob Ross shirt. Is that okay with you? And I was like, yeah, this Bob Ross shirt is amazing. Like, it is so cool. So I just added that to the shipment and sent it out to him, and all is well with the world, which is really great. That Bob Ross shirt became a source of contention later on, and I'll share that with you here in a little bit. But you know, sometimes that happens. Sometimes like there are so many opportunities to catch flaws and you just don't catch them until it's time to ship something out. Like, I cannot even tell you how many times that happens to me, even just last week, how many times that happened to me. But when that happens, and I say when, because it will, it's not an if type of thing. Like, it's going to happen at some point in your life if it hasn't happened to you yet. When that happens, just be upfront with your buyer, let them know what's going on. Sometimes they will decide to just cancel the transaction. And sometimes they'll say, I didn't even see a stain, it's fine, I'll still take it. So you never know what'll happen, but at least be upfront with the buyer. They really appreciate that. And I think that that's how you can even earn yourself a repeat buyer for the future. Next, on Wednesday the 10th, I sold this new with tags Forever 21 high-waisted bikini in a burgundy color, size extra large. I had them listed for $24. This bikini had so many likes, but I was kind of holding out for as high of an offer as I could get. And I felt like I was sending out offers to likers on this thing like every night. Every night I was sending out offers to likers for $21 because I had it listed for $24. So finally, I think that someone offered me $18 on it. That's what must have happened because I did not offer a shipping discount, so someone offered me $18. I feel like we did have a conversation though, and I was like, fine, I'll go down to $18. And then I made $14.40 on that swimsuit. I picked that up at the fill a bag sale that I always went to at the thrift store that I love that, you know, has since shut down. So that was a nice sale. I was really excited to sell that. A lot of people don't pick up Forever 21, and typically I don't either, but I knew that it being a size extra large, and then also the fact that it was swimwear, I was like, I'll try it out. What's there to lose? I'm paying like $1 for this item, so. Next up, I had a 6-piece bundle sell for $100. And this is where that Bob Ross shirt became a source of contention, and it was because this person, it was actually pretty interesting. Sometimes I get people who will come into my closet and they will just like a ton of stuff and they have no intention of buying anything. I'm not quite sure what they're liking items for. Maybe it's just because they're bored or because, I don't know why they're doing that. But it happens more often than you would think. So someone came into my closet, liked a bunch of items in my closet, and I was like, I'm sure this is just another one of those instances. However, for whatever reason, I decided with this person to still add all of those items to a bundle and send them a really good offer. I think that it was a bundle of like 9 or 10 things. And then nothing happened for a good amount of time. But the next day, she responded and said, hey, I've been talking to my daughter, and she actually doesn't want the Batman shirt, and she doesn't want this pair of shorts, so without those things, could we do $120? And I was flabbergasted. I was like, oh my gosh, there's like another person on the other end of this screen right now. Like, this is a real person who is actually interested in these items. Like, that never happens with serial likers. You know what I mean? So I was really excited. But in that initial bundle had been that Bob Ross shirt, and I had already given it away to the person who had ordered that shirt with like the cracked graphic. So I had to tell her, hey, I am okay with $120, but this Bob Ross shirt is no longer available. So without that, how about we do $100 for this whole bundle? And she was like, no, the Bob Ross shirt. Like, my daughter really wants the Bob Ross shirt. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And even like when we finalized the order and she paid for it, she left another like sad little comment in the bundle, and she's like, if you come across any other Bob Ross shirts or any other Bob Ross articles of clothing, can you please tag us in them? And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sad. Like, I've had that Bob Ross shirt in my closet now for probably at least a month, and people have liked it, but there haven't been any offers or anything on it. So I was just kind of like, oh, like no one really cares about it. And then of course in the same day, 2 different people want it. So that was kind of sad, but I'm glad that she was still able to get a lot of really great stuff in this bundle. So let's talk about what she did get. And let me say this before I forget, because she couldn't get the Bob Ross shirt, I just went ahead and sent her the Batman shirt that she had taken out of her bundle for free because, 1, I, for whatever reason, have 3 Batman shirts in my closet. I think it's because my friend Steve loved Batman, and even before he gave me 2 Batman shirts, I had another Batman logo shirt. So I don't know, I don't know where all these Batman shirts are coming from, but I was like, I don't need 3 in my closet. So I let them know I was just gonna send one their way. Anyway, going on to their bundle. The first thing that sold was this Athleta pink rolled sleeve, short sleeve workout shirt. Sorry, that was a mouthful. And that was in a size small. Now, the crappy thing about the shirt was I did all my packages that day. Theirs went in a pretty big box because there were 6 pieces in the bundle. The next day, I was helping a friend of mine learn how to photograph items and whatnot, and I was training another one of my students for the sake of my friend, so we were all there together. And I bent over around my shipping table to get something off the floor, and I saw this pink Athleta shirt. It did not make its way into the bundle for whatever reason. Oh my gosh. So I, again, reached out to the buyer and I let her know, hey, I don't know what happened, but somehow this pink shirt did not make it into your bundle. Can you please send me your address and I will just send it myself? So that's what I did, and she was thankful that I reached out to her, so I just paid for shipping on my own to get that out to her, and hopefully that gets to her in the next couple days here. But it was just everything that could go wrong with packages and shipping and all that kind of stuff did this week. It was a crazy week for shipping. The second thing that was in this bundle was this pair of J. Crew navy shorts with the 7-inch inseam, and they were in a size 4. And I feel like maybe this bundle was made up of stuff for both the woman who bought it as well as her daughter, because there were some variations in sizes. And I also think that you should really think about putting a lot of stuff in your closet right now for back to school shopping, because I kind of feel like that's what's happening a little bit here. Even the earlier sale from this day with that man buying that Abercrombie shirt for his son, I feel like that could have been a back to school purchase. I feel like some of this stuff that is in this bundle could be a back to school purchase. So get ready, because that back to school season, you're gonna see a lot of traffic in your Poshmark closet, hopefully. Anyway, the next item that sold was this Charlotte Russe striped pleated dress. It was a really cute spaghetti strap dress. I typically don't sell Charlotte Russe. I don't pick it up. I don't source it, but someone gave it to me for free from my church, and so I was like, I'll give it a try. And it actually got a decent number of likes. That's one of the reasons why I like, obviously receiving free items from people that I know, but I also like it because it opens my eyes to different brands that, one, either I just don't know about because they're shopping at different places than I would, or they know about different brands than I do, but also, two, I like it because it forces me sometimes to list things that I am too snobby to source myself and list myself. But by listing those items, I realize, hey, there's actually a market for this. So I can understand why you might be a little less willing to try out different brands, especially mall brands or fast fashion brands, if that's not your cup of tea. But if you have the opportunity to score inventory for really cheap or even for free, or if you're at the bins, it doesn't hurt to experiment and just see what people's reaction is to different brands and what you're used to carrying. So I'm glad that I have these few Charlotte Russe pieces in my closet and am seeing their popularity, if you will, because I would have never thought that had I not tried carrying it in my Poshmark closet. The next thing that sold in this bundle was this Nike blue and orange hooded windbreaker, and it did have Nike embroidered onto the bottom right or left of the jacket. It's a super nice jacket. It was actually not given to me. I bought it from a former student of mine who was trying to get rid of a lot of her stuff, and this happened to be one of the things in her bundle of stuff that I got from her. So this was a pretty nice piece from that bundle, so I'm glad that it's going to this family. The next thing that sold, I've had this pair of shorts forever, and mainly because I had them and didn't have them listed forever, and then when I was going through inventory one day, I found them in a Ziploc bag, and I was like, you're not in my Poshmark closet. So I pulled them and took pictures of them, and finally they have sold. And they're this pair of Urban Outfitters BDG. BDG is one of those house brands for Urban Outfitter, but it's just a pair of Bermuda shorts, and they're cuffed at the bottom, and they were a size 30. And then the final thing that sold in this bundle was this pair of Columbia hiking shorts. I told you they're starting to sell, and this was in a size 6. That whole bundle came out to, we settled on $100. I probably could have made more, but I felt so bad that I didn't have this Bob Ross shirt, so I just let all these items go for $100, so I made $80 on that bundle. And the final thing that sold on Wednesday on Poshmark was another Forever 21 swimsuit, and it was also new with tags. I actually got this swimsuit at the Indianapolis bins when I went and met up with Michelle and G from the Bin Pickers. I will link that video right here. And Michelle actually gave it to me because she was like, we don't really sell Forever 21, but you know, it's new with tags, it's a decent price, it's really cute. So I was like, yeah, I'll take it. So thank you, Michelle, because you helped me make $7.25 here. And it was a pretty quick flip. So it was this one-piece bathing suit, size medium, with like a plunging V neckline, and it had like rainbow stripes across the whole swimsuit, and the back also had kind of like woven straps on it. So it was really cool, and it was really bright, and it was, you know, just a fun swimsuit. I probably had that listed for 24 hours, not even, and it sold really quickly. I did send out offers to likers on that. So I think like in the first day that I listed it, I had it listed, I want to say, for $14 or $15, because, you know, the original price of the swimsuit was like $16 or $18. I don't know. It was a cheap swimsuit to begin with, so I couldn't really charge that much. But I had it priced at like $14 or $15. And that evening I sent out offers to likers, because I send out offers to likers every night before I go to bed if I haven't passed out yet. And someone in the evening accepted my offer, so I made $7.25 after shipping discounts. And then I had another wonderful, huge sale over on eBay. And that was on this, again, Abercrombie gray muscle moose logo t-shirt in a size medium. Again, it was from Steve. I guess he really liked Abercrombie back in the day. I don't know. This shirt had 3 bids on it, and at the end of like the time that it was in auction mode, it had like a little mini bidding war. It was like bam, bam, bam. And then the auction ended with a price of $4.93. Sorry, I just got an offer on eBay for this jacket. And it is so, it's like such a nice jacket. And they offered $60. I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna put this video up today, so maybe you guys can help. Let me know if you would accept it, because I think I had this jacket listed for like $119 on eBay. I have it listed for $124 over on Poshmark, and it's this Jill Sander jacket that I got at a garage sale for $1. It's really nice. $60? Ooh, I don't know. I'm gonna look at comps again too and see what, you know, it realistically has been selling for. And the problem when I was making the listing was that I don't think that there are exact comps for this exact jacket. Like, I haven't found any of this exact jacket before, and that's why I didn't really know how to price it. But let me know what you would do in the comment section down below. Would you accept or would you counter? I'm scared. I don't know. eBay is still so scary to me. So we were talking about this eBay sale. So it came out to $4.93. Again, though, I went to pull it, and I found that there was actually this little bleach spot on the bottom of the big graphic. And then there was also just some like discoloration on the shirt throughout. Like, just kind of maybe bleach type stuff. I don't know, like it had clearly been washed incorrectly or something. So there was some weird discoloration, you know, like up by the shoulder, on one shoulder. And, you know, eBay is like, you can't mess around on eBay. You can't play around in the sense that if people are canceling transactions on you, or they're leaving you less than stellar feedback, like it can really hurt your store. And if you have enough dings on your account, then you can even get shut down. So I was just like so scared. I didn't know what to do. So I reached out to the buyer and I let her know, and I said, hey, I just pulled this shirt to ship it out to you, and I noticed this little small stain and this discoloration, and I actually took pictures of the flaws and I sent them to her, again with just like a long list of other things that we could do to help remedy this thing that I had overlooked. So I told her, you know, we can cancel the transaction, I can send you something else that's kind of within the same price point. But she messaged me back and she was like, I really can't see the flaws, it's fine, just send it as is. And I was like, okay. So I sent it. I haven't received any feedback yet. Hopefully it's fine. I mean, it's not very easy to see, and because it's kind of more like almost a vintage looking shirt, I think you can get away with the fact that there are these little discolorations and bleach spots and whatever, but still, like, I'm kind of irritated that I didn't see that stuff to begin with, but you live and you learn, and that's okay. And she was really sweet about it, so that was nice. Next up on Thursday, we only had one sale, and it was over on Poshmark, and it was not a huge sale, but that's okay, not all sales are. It was this pair of Columbia PFG convertible nylon pants. They're like those kinds of pants where you can zip off the bottom third of the pants and they turn into shorts. PFG, I believe, stands for Professional Fishing Gear. So these would be perfect to go fishing in, because I know a lot of people, when they go fishing, they like actually get out of the boat and they go into the water. Or if you're fishing on land and you want to like actually get into the water a little bit, you can zip off the bottom part of the pants so that your pants don't get wet, which is kind of ingenious. So I've had these for quite some time. I think they probably would have done better over on eBay, but I listed these on Poshmark a long time ago before I was even on eBay. And someone had liked them, so I sent out an offer to likers for $16, and after discounted shipping, I made $11. Friday was actually a zero sales day for me on Poshmark, and I actually have 2 zero sales days on Poshmark this week, which it happens. It happens less frequently now, but it does happen. But I did have a Mercari sale this Friday, and it was my one and only Mercari sale, and it was one of my boutique items. I've talked in previous videos about how my boutique items actually do pretty well over on Mercari, which is really nice. It was this New With Tags blue floral kimono, and it has kind of like this lapel on it. I think I had it listed for $42, and I had put free shipping on it because it is really lightweight. And so someone sent me an offer of $38, which I very happily accepted. And after free shipping of $3.49, because it was under 8 ounces, I think, I made $30.71. And I did ship that out using Pirate Ship. Many of you have requested that I make a video on how to use Pirate Ship, so I will definitely try to do that here soon, because so many of you have requested that. I also had another eBay auction sale. This was the worst auction of the week, but I'm still fine with it. It actually came out of that rescue haul from ThredUp of like the 25 pair of shoes. And it was this pair of cobalt blue Madden Girl Shine with 2 eyes pumps. The reason why I decided to go ahead and auction them off is because they were in pretty rough shape. They had this like really big scratch along one side, and there were some other like scuffs and just other things that I couldn't get out, and I wasn't even gonna try. So I put them out on auction for $2.70. They got 1 bid, and so the person who bid on them automatically won. She did take a little bit of time to pay for the item, so I think I did send her like a payment reminder or something, but she did finally pay, and after the 13% eBay fees, I made $2.35 on those pair of shoes, especially because she also paid for shipping. On Saturday the 13th, I did have a few Poshmark sales. Nothing huge, nothing like amazing, but I did have some sales. The first thing that sold was kind of bittersweet, but it was, you know, I'm happy that they sold. It was this pair of Timberland baby tan lace-up boots, those ankle boots. They were really popular in like the 90s, I feel like. They were in a size 4, and I had actually picked them up at a Goodwill not that long ago, but I picked them up for my son actually. And he wore them maybe like once or twice, but you could tell like they weren't super comfortable on him. Like it was just like a little bit harder for him to walk and get around. I think because they came up so high on his foot and he just wasn't used to that. So I did have them listed pretty high. I probably had them listed around like $24 or something like that, but I wasn't getting a lot of interest on them. And so when someone sent me an offer for, what is it, $15, I went ahead and accepted, and I made $12 on that sale. So that was really nice because, you know, I had originally picked it up for my son anyway. He did get some use out of them. Now they're going to a new home, and that makes me really happy. Next up was another very surprising sale from my ThredUp rescue haul. And again, this is like another reason why I kind of enjoyed doing that, was because it gave me an opportunity to familiarize myself with brands that either A, like I would never have been able to see out in the wild because they're just not showing up at my thrift stores or at local garage sales, or 2, it forced me to look a little more closely at brands that I tend to overlook at the thrift store. So this pair of shoes that sold was by the brand Kelly and Katie, and they were this pair of metallic strap cork wedge sandals. Someone I think told me that these were also carried at DSW. I listed them for $18 because I was like, I don't know anything about these shoes. Like they're in good condition. I just don't know how desirable they are. That's kind of where the comps were. And someone came and bought them outright at $18, probably within like 2 weeks of me listing them. So I made $14.40. And I mean, I don't know if that means I'm gonna go out and actively pick up every pair of Kelly and Katie shoes that I find, but at least now I know, like, if I see them somewhere for pretty cheap, or if I find them at the bins, or, you know, whatever, they're worth picking up because someone liked them enough to pay the full asking price of $18. And, you know, I mean, obviously I'm gonna still run my comps and stuff if I come across it again, just to make sure that that pair that I'm looking at that moment are also desirable by that brand. But I would have never known about this brand had it not been for that ThredUp rescue box, so that's kind of exciting. The last thing that sold on Saturday was this pair of Pink by Victoria's Secret bikini bottoms, and they had this like tropical green floral print to it. Not floral, but just a tropical leaf print, I guess you could say. Someone actually like left a comment on the listing, which this doesn't happen very much anymore, especially now that the bundle feature is in place. But someone left me a comment and said, would you take $13 with discounted shipping? I think I had it listed for either like $18 or $16, and so I was, you know, rather than even respond to the comment, because I don't know that I did, I just went ahead and created a bundle and continued our conversation there, because, you know, I don't necessarily want to like have this big, long, drawn-out conversation within the comment section of a listing, because then everyone can see it, and they can see if I say to her, yeah, I'll take your $13, but then if she doesn't end up buying it, someone else is gonna come along, see that I was willing to give her $13 and be like, well, I'm only gonna pay $13 for it too, even if they were willing to pay $15 or $16 or whatever, you know? So I went ahead and opened up a bundle. We continued our conversation, and I ended up sending her the offer for $13 with discounted shipping. So I made a profit of $8.25. Finally, that brings us to Sunday. And Sunday was another $0 day for me on Poshmark. I also didn't sell anything over on Mercari, but I did have one eBay sale. And this was my first hard goods sale over on eBay, so that was pretty cool. It was this set of 5 brushed nickel napkin rings by Crate & Barrel. And some of them did have some like tarnishing on them. I actually tried to sell these at my garage sale and they didn't sell. And I think it's because people just like didn't know what they were. And I did have them cross-listed over on Poshmark under the home goods section, as well as on Mercari, and they were getting likes and stuff, but someone bought them at my full asking price of $9.99 over on eBay, and they also paid for shipping. So after the 13% eBay and PayPal fees, I made $8.70 on those. So for the week on Poshmark, I made $273.15. On Mercari, I made $30.71. And on eBay, I made $18.17. And all of that came out to a total of $322.03. And that was after selling 25 items. Obviously, a lot of those were really small sales, especially all of those eBay auction items, but I am completely okay with that. And I'm thankful that even in the midst of summer slowdown, that's actually like a little bit higher than my average for what I've been doing this summer. I feel like in the summer, I've kind of been like sitting pretty at around $200 to $300 a week. So, you know, $322, I'm happy with that. I did want to share some stats as far as like what kinds of things sold, so that if maybe you're wondering what kinds of things you should be picking up, this is what's selling for me at least. So one interesting fact is that I did sell 3 pairs of shoes this week from that ThredUp rescue haul, and I've made $29.55 back. So I spent an initial investment of $120 to get those 25 pairs of shoes. I did give like a couple pairs away, one to a friend of mine, one to I think my mom. I don't know. So like some of those shoes like I just don't have anymore. I gave them away. But $29.55 toward my initial investment. Hopefully soon here I'm going to keep selling through those, and I will be able to tell you what kind of profit I'm looking at off of that $120 initial investment. But I have no doubt that I'm going to make my money back and then some. I sold 3 men's pieces this week, 1 children's piece, 1 hard goods piece, and 20 women's pieces. I carry the most women's items, so it makes sense that I would sell the most women's pieces, but last week was like an interesting week where I sold a lot of men's pieces, like more men's pieces than women's pieces, but we're back to the norm here. And of the 25 pieces that I sold, 1 was a boutique item, 1 was a pair of jeans, 1 was a jacket, 3 were swimwear, which is pretty big for me because I feel like swim stuff has just not been moving, but I sold 3 swim pieces this week, and 2 of them were from Forever 21. So don't sleep on that Forever 21's swim stuff. And then I sold 3 t-shirts, 3 workout pieces, 3 dresses, 4 pairs of shorts, so people are still buying shorts, which is nice to know because I still have a ton in my closet, and then 5 pairs of shoes, which again isn't super surprising because I have been listing a good number of shoes because of that ThredUp Rescue haul. What else? Is there anything else? I don't think so. I think that's all I got for this week. So like I said, next week, unfortunately, there will not be a what sold video. Hopefully I'll still have 2 or 3 videos being uploaded throughout the week while I'm gone in San Diego. I'm trying to batch work so that I have some videos pre-done and ready to go for you next week. But yeah, I think that's it for this week. Thank you guys so much. Again, if you are able to come out to my Posh and Sip this Saturday, please RSVP using that Facebook link down below. Hopefully I can meet you then or even on August 5th when I go to the Indianapolis bins. Thank you so much and I will see you in the next one. Bye!